there.
Okay.
So you get to get some of the hookup in here.
Does his roof stay open?
No. But I don't close it till last minute because it gets a little warm. Even though it's a very dark tint.
No, his.
Oh, his. It can actually, yeah.
Oh.
Excuse me. It can stay open. It's got little marks on the railing, so certain speeds you can have it a certain amount open.
Yeah.
If you fly really slow, it can be very much open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is yours.
Oh, thank you.
I thought you were asking about this one. I said, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably figured this one's got to come
Yeah,
out,
right.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right.
The bug?
No, I just didn't know how far.
Oh, God, God.
Couldn't tell how high it was.
Then we got to be in there. You must go. All right, A for altimeter set. This is my checklist, by the way. A for air brakes, close and lock. B for ballast is good. B for belts. I'm belted. Shay, you're belted?
Yep.
Okay. C for connected to the tow plane. C for controls are free. C for canopies, both closed and latched. And windows cracked. D direction wind, emergency turn. Rally check.
Loud and clear.
We are ready.
Fairbault traffic, rally 312, Romeo Alpha is taking off 30 flyer and tow Fairbault.
And here we go.
All right. Oh boy.
Yeah, have a safe day somehow.
Oh. Oh, that didn't take much to get out.
No, it doesn't. No, it's the tow plane. It's sort of like a muscle car of planes. It's got way more power than it needs. So we got up pretty quick. And we got more wing than he does, so we fly before he does. Yeah, feel those little. Yeah, I know. I was about to say, feel those you kind of get lifted and gently drop.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're slicing through those rising columns of warm air I was talking about. And like that. That's all that'll happen. Even though our brains react like we fell out of a tree or something, you know. It's hard to. Usually after about 5 minutes, those alarms stop going on.
I love roller coasters. So
Okay.
it's just fun.
So these are good.
Yeah.
All right. Best soaring days feel like this, where the glider gets lifted and dropped, because then we all get really excited. We can't wait to get rid of the tow plane and circle in this rising air.
Yeah. So you'd say this is a really good soaring day?
Yeah, well, you know, except for the absence of cumulus clouds.
Yeah.
And I'm actually just starting to see some. If you look to the left a little bit, and I see those little clouds starting to form.
Yep.
That's the only missing piece. That way, we know where they are.
Right.
On a day without cloud, we gotta sleuth it out or stumble into them. This area is called Southern Minnesota Lake Street, and you see why.
Yep.
A bunch of water out here.
Well, that's why we live in Minnesota, isn't it?
I know, it's not the winter, I don't know. I used to enjoy the winter zone way more than I do now. Now it's more of an obstacle.
Yeah.
Especially this last one.
Oh, that was brutal.
Remember I used to, it had to be above 10 degrees for me to go snowboarding or skiing, and now it has to be above 25.
Yeah.
My temperature goes up with every year. You see that one cloud there, that's a cumulus that And we'll still be able to find thermals today without any problem and circling them. But glider pilots, we're going to try to do a long flight. Prefer to have markers, those speedless spots, so they know where to expect to find them. It's a little nerve-wracking to push out into the blue, going, I should hit a thermal eventually.
Yeah.
That'll prevent me from landing in that field down there.
Yeah, right.
And when we race these and fly cross country, it's not uncommon to land in a farmer's field.
Yeah.
You go knock on the door and thank him for providing a runway. Hope he doesn't get mad at you, which they usually don't.
Yeah.
And then you call your crew or your wife or your husband and have them bring the trailer so you can put the glider in the trailer and bring it home.
So you're at that point, if you just land in a field, you don't get to get back up in the air?
Usually not, unless you happen to land in a field that is really long and the tow plane can land there also.
Oh.
And then sometimes they can do that, they can pull you out. But oftentimes if it's loose dirt and when the tow plane starts to rev up its engine, starts to pull you, you just get a face full of dirt back here. And it's kind of uncool. It only takes a half an hour to an hour to put a glider in a trailer. They come apart real easily.
Yeah. Do the wings come off in one piece?
It's a good question. There's a giant pin behind me, a big rolled steel 1-inch diameter pin that goes right through the wing spars and holds them together. So once you pull that pin out, the wings pull out and then you have a left wing and a right wing. And that goes to the trailer, got a leading edge down on either side, and the fuselage part we're sitting in goes right in the middle. There's another bunch of lift there. See your top right instrument there, Shay? It's reading about 7 now.
Yeah.
8, 9, almost 10 right there.
Yeah.
So the tow, we're going up right now at about 700-800 feet per minute. The tow plane is only capable of bringing us up at about 500 feet per minute. So anything more than 5 is we're in rising air.
Yeah.
So right there, we're right over the Walmart too. This is my favorite house thermal. It's right below us down there. It's so much below us you can't see it now.
Yeah.
That parking lot heats up super nice.
Yeah.
How is this motion with you so far, all right?
Great.
Great. So if you look at the tow plane right now, you see I've got him kind of lined up with the horizon visually.
Yeah.
Like the land is below his wheels, the sky's above his wings, whatever.
Yeah.
If I come back on the control stick, if I keep watching the tow plane, see how we go up here?
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm pulling his tail up. If I went much higher, you can feel that. You'd be like, hey, what's going on back
Yeah.
there? So I'll go back down here and behave myself right there. If I'm off to the right or left like this, I could actually pull his tail and steer him, to the left if I wanted, if I pull hard enough.
Yeah.
But I should be back over here, behaving myself again. Right there. Give me a right turn to teach me a lesson here. We have about 2 minutes to go and we'll get on. So, another thermal. Now you know what it is when you're flying commercial, aircraft or something, like with these 747s or Airbuses. When you're below the clouds and you feel the plane get moved around and bumped and jostled, that's what it is. It's just rising air.
Yeah.
A lot of people think of it, we're hitting an air pocket. I don't know what that could possibly mean. There's rising air and there's sinking air, and that's about it.
Okay.
There's no missing air.
The rising, and the rising air is what gives you that feeling.
Yes, exactly. It's interesting. Think of it like a water fountain. The fountain goes up in the middle and comes down on the sides.
Yeah.
Like a water fountain. Anyway, thermal is like that too. The hot air rises feel like a Quidditch player.
Yeah.
All right, Shay, we are here. If you want to bring back that yellow nut by your left knee there, nice and easy, we'll let him go.
All right. Now?
Ready, yes.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Woo.
And he does that.
Whoa.
He's having fun.
Well, that looks fun. Oh my god. Just kind of floating.
Yeah, now that we're going slower, yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Get it going real slow here. You can see how quiet it is. We're doing about
Traffic, rally 2, Romeo Alpha, hold it.
43 miles an hour right here, about 40 knots. And just for a second, close your air vent there. Very likely people will ask you, well, how quiet was it in the ride? And if you don't let any air in, it feels like this. It is a bit of a trade-off with stuffiness versus noise.
Yeah.
But,
It is quiet. Wow.
yeah. I've been working on a way to bring air into the cockpit a little more quietly than these scoopy vents. Yeah, you can go ahead and open your vent again if it's getting stuck. Yeah, it usually does. So this actually right here is the Cannon River, and that's the very, Cannon Lake, and that's the beginning of the Cannon River. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yep.
That's the very first foot of it right there. And it goes through Fairbault and then floods out Northfield every couple of years.
Yeah.
Cannon Falls and Welch Village. My right wing is pointing at the airport right there. Right over a golf course, that's what they look like. Actually kind of cool. When I was a kid, I had a train layout, and I think I had a golf course on there. Anyway, whatever I created looked just like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gluing little trees on a green board, just like that. And this is, see the two dams there?
Yep.
There's that building, the red brick right to the right of that dam is the Fairbault Woolen Mills.
Okay.
It's kind of what put Fairbault on the map way back when. And that's downtown. And then in the edge of town, that's a medium security prison. So those white buildings, they look like...
Shiny?
Yeah.
Oh, over there?
On their backs? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. What are those buildings that have the shiny top?
Yeah, that is, I think, a nursery.
Oh. Do you live in Fairbault?
No, I live north of Fairbault, a little north of the airport, about 5 or 6 miles.
Okay.
On one of these little prairie lakes.
Yeah.
I'm almost exactly in between Northfield, Fairbault, and Lonsdale. There's no good direction to go get a quart of milk.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. Now I'm going to turn to the left, and I'm going to point with my left wing, Shay, at this. There's some bumps there.
Okay.
Motion still good with you so far?
Yep.
All right, cool. So Shattuck is right there.
Oh, yeah.
That inflatable dome is where their soccer field is. They got a couple hockey rinks, and it looks like some tennis courts, baseball nets. You can see where those line of cars are lined up.
Yep.
Right? Just on the other side of that little road that they're parked on is the clock tower. And apparently, one of the alumni was telling me, one of the kids that went there was telling me that Marlon Brando, he got expelled from this school. And he stole the clapper out of the bell in the bell tower, and the clock tower, and buried it on campus. They never found it, apparently. Story goes.
Yep.
And then down to the right, just the other side of existence, is the prison.
Yep. And that's medium security?
That's what they say. Actually, one guy mentioned that too. He goes, well, it's kind of medium. Meaning, I guess, they may take some tougher prisoners there if there's not room elsewhere. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that the way it works? Yeah, the last guy threw was pretty funny. I pointed that out, and he goes, yeah, guys, it sure is good to get out of there. And I was like, you're kidding, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, great. I was waiting for a prisoner to get out there and come up here and beat the snot out of me for frolicking about over his jail cell for a dozen years. You know, you could be doing this, man. It's a neat little town, though. So, would you like me to demonstrate a couple maneuvers?
Yeah.
And then you can fly some if you like. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to do just a steep turn to the left here. You'll feel a little G. You'll be pinned into your seat a little bit. Not too bad. So we can turn as steep as you want. The gliders are very stable.
Yeah.
We're going to get our faces out of the sun here. And then I'm going to bring the nose up. We'll get real quiet. It's called a stall. And we'll be very light in our seat just for a couple seconds as the nose drops. There we go.
Oh boy.
It flies again. Is that good?
Yeah, that's great.
I think you're going to like this one. I'm going to get a little speed up. And this one's called a Hammerhead. So it'll pin you in your seat as I pull the nose up. And we're going to be totally weightless as we tip to the side.
Okay.
See how much you can relax.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was crazy.
We'll do one more to balance our brains up.
Alright. Oh my gosh.
Falling without pain.
Yeah. That was great. Like the best roller coaster ride ever.
You know, I often describe these as roller coaster design machines.
Yeah.
This particular glider is not rated for what they call sustained inverted flight. You can't just flip it upside down and fly around upside down with it because it's not rated, but many of them are. And yeah, you can do all kinds of cool maneuvers. We're right next to a thermal here. I can feel it. Oh, there we go. Look at your top right instrument shape.
Yep.
It's above. It was above zero when I started that sentence.
It was.
I think we just nicked the thermal. I'm going to go back over here and look for it. See, without the cumulus clouds, I got to feel my way around. There we go. Guess what? Walmart parking lot.
Oh.
Might be from that.
Sure.
Why don't you shadow me on the stick shaper bit? So with your right hand, are you right or left-handed?
Right.
Okay, cool. Hold the stick with your right hand about halfway down on the shaft, maybe even lower, so that your forearm is resting on your leg, and your hand is very relaxed in your lap. Oh, there we're in the lift again here. And you're just going to use your wrist. We're going to hit some lift here, right? Oh man, we're right next to it. I don't know where it is. Anyway, you'll notice as you hold the stick, raise and lower the nose. And we can roll left and right. So see the horizon way up in front of you?
Yep.
How does that blue yarn line up with it? Is it above it or below it?
Above it.
Above it. All right. So by raising and lowering the nose, you can change that perspective. I want you to keep that yarn about like that relative to the horizon, okay? If it gets too low, you just bring the stick back in there. Yep. If it gets too high, just go forward a bit. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. And so that'll keep your airspeed nice and steady without you having to look at any instruments. It's a really neat trick.
Okay.
The other thing is to turn. I'm going to come on with you for a minute.
All right.
I think we're about to hit some left here. Maybe not. So I'm going to move the stick left. And when I get an angle I like, there's our thermal.
Yeah.
I bring it back to the middle position again. All right, we're climbing. All right. I'll tell you what. Keep your hand on the stick, but we're going to take a couple circles with this lift. Is your head and stomach fine still?
Yes.
All right. All right, let's see if we can climb a little bit this thermal, and then I'll let you climb once we get a little higher. I think I should have turned right because Not pass out, but I've had people who've been like, woo, woo, it's great. Where's the ear signals back? You know, so that's why I ask you so much, because there's half your brain may be in love with it, and the other half hasn't figured out the motion yet. You know what I mean? All right, so we're climbing pretty good, but we'll let this one go. So we're back to turning. So the yaw string slightly below the horizon. If you say...
Alright.
Fairbault traffic light is 3.9 mile ahead. Southwest of the field, 3,200. Alright, if we move it left, and as soon as we get an angle we like, we move it back just a hair to the right, and it locks that angle in. See that? And I'm not dropping the nose. I'm not I'm keeping it right on the horizon. And when I'm done with my turn, all I do is move the stick to the right. As soon as the wings are level again, like there, I put it back in the middle.
Yeah.
So as long as you have it off to one side, the rider will roll that way. All right, so you go ahead, give it a try. Nothing can happen, Shay.
Okay.
I'll shadow you for a bit. Experiment any way you like. All right, nice turn. And again, if you're ever wondering what you should be doing with the stick forward and backwards, just remember the yaw string on the horizon, and your speed will stay nice and steady, or just below the horizon, however it looks to you.
Yeah.
It's a perfect turn, and you're in the thermal. Oh, just hit a little bit. Nice turn. I think you're taking it just very, very well.
I've never been able to drive a boat because I struggle with like the tipping.
Oh, yeah? Do you like bicycles, motorcycles, or anything where you lean into your turn?
Yeah, but I guess I don't ride motorcycles, but on a bicycle I don't take really deep turns. I'm fine when other people do it, but I get freaked out when
Yeah. Well, you're doing it perfectly here, unless it's by accident. You're doing it perfectly.
It's kind of by accident. I'm not really looking out to the sides as I do.
Yeah, don't do that. Look straight ahead.
Yeah.
That's where you should be. Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, your speed control is just perfect. So you're not really, yanking the nose up above the horizon or dropping it below, which I see all the time when people, and I'm sure I did it when I was learning to fly. So when you do your turns here, your speed is staying really steady. Nice. Yeah, keep around a little bit more to the left.
Okay.
We'll do another change of direction to the left. Very nice. And I'm sure you've noticed this already, that you go with the stick forward too quickly, you get light in your seat, right?
Yeah.
All right, you can roll wings level here. Which, if you like roller coasters, is great. But it's different when you do it to yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is great.
All right, fly as much as you want. If you want me to fly, it's fine. I can demonstrate stuff.
Yeah, I think I'll let you take over.
All right, want me to take it?
Sure.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, you left me in a thermal, I think. Look at that, right? Oh, we just keep nicking them.
Yep.
All right, so we're just enough altitude for, want to do another hammerhead?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Go aim this way. And we'll get a little speed. And here we go. Close your air vent for this one, Shay. Excellent. We'll see how quiet it can get to the top. Here we go.
Yeah.
You can open it again if you want. Now we're at an altitude where they don't want us to do those anymore. Below 15 AGL. It's stuffy FAA regulation.
Yeah.
But I can do a pushover, which is kind of cool. You got one more in you?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna get a little speed. I'm gonna. Oh, actually, we're climbing up here. Maybe one circle here. You guys came together and buys us a little extra time. There we go. Okay, just a little altitude in this one, and the pushovers, I'll get some speed like I did in the Hammerhead, but I'll pull up and I'll push straight forward, so we'll see how many seconds of weightlessness we can get. And we'll do that over this lake here. Alright, we just picked up a couple 100 feet there. Alright, here we go. bunch of pelicans circling up about this altitude earlier. It is a blast to chase birds around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty quiet out there for birds.
It is. I'm very surprised actually because there's pretty good lift today. I'm wondering if it's just my eyes and it's not picking them out, but it might be at our altitude or even above or below. I don't see any right now. Maybe it's that afternoon siesta. They're just parked in the water somewhere. All right, we'll head around and head back in. For landing, you want to just ride and take in the sights, or you want to fly? It's up to you.
I'll just take in the sights.
All right. Good. Actually, we gained enough for one more maneuver. How's your head and stomach?
Good.
Should we do one more?
Yeah.
No hesitation at all. I have to announce where we are. Fairbault traffic right at 37 miles, 2 miles west of the field.
That's set by 16 and a half miles altitude. 1400 feet inbound landing at the ramp Fairbault.
Alright, we're good. Here we go. I'm going to close my bed. You decide on yours. Alright, go for some extra hang time on this one.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Buy one of these, you can do this all day, Shane. One more big pushover.
All right. Oh my gosh, so freaky. Nose hurt. smooth landing.
It's a heck of a noise to end a flight with a scraping wing.
Yeah, right.
There is a skid out there, so
Yeah.
as horrible as that sounds, it's titanium rubbing. And Shay, give that a twist right there, and they'll all pop off. There you go. And I can hold any stuff you got till you get out.
Thank you.
All right, I'll tip the wing real quick before you step out. Anything under my wing there? No, I was just gonna make sure there's not a light.
Nope.
Okay. You think I know where the lights are by now? All right. Good job.
All right. Whew, that's awesome.
Was that fun?
That was fun.
You took a lot of maneuvers.
Yeah.
She is a
that was great.
a roller coaster fiend, I think.
I am. Oh, thank you.
So I got my book is on the couch. Actually,
And
no, backpack's in there. iPad in the office.
say,
Doing work.
are you good? Say, Blake, you want to lift up that wingtip? Actually, if you want, you can come out while Blake and I launch, and then you can drive that cart back. You want to do that? All right. All right, we're gonna rotate around this way. If you don't hit any runway lights, that's great. All right, and you can set that down right on the grass. Thank you, Blake.